What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys another Movember chapter review for Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 203, once again entitled Blood and Oil, except this time Blood and Oil 2. Now, of course, we get it. Blood manipulation, he's a painting, oil. Yeah, we got it. I got the gist of it. I got the concept. That being said, I actually really like this chapter, though I still, unless what ends up happening later, so I'm going to withhold judgment of the decisions made at the beginning of this chapter to see what bears fruit, as they say, right? So there's no judgment here, but potentially I'm going to say that I don't know if Chozo's decision, which Yuki tells him right off the bat, you'll die, was a good one. He makes the decision to go out there and Kenjaku, like Solo, to try to figure out A, B, try to make him use his domain, try to do this, try to do that. But Kenjaku has already figured that out in this chapter, so he's going to literally do his best to try the exact opposite. He's figured out the plan, so unless there's a plan upon a plan that we're not privy to or something like that, I'm not 100% sure, but at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to have to withhold judgment whether this was a dumb decision, with the reasoning simply being, if you and I fight together, we'll just get in each other's way. Which, fair enough. I mean, if you read enough manga or you see enough things, you can't just... It's very convenient, I find, in a lot of shonen mangas and a lot of mangas, where you have people who are used to fighting solo, all of a sudden having to fight with teammates and not, friendly fire, right? Like a lot using RPG video games, for example. Sure, I have this huge Fireball Inferno spell, but if my melee fighters are up close attacking the boss and I launch this Fireball, they're going to get hit by it too. And some games allow like a no friendly fire tactic and stuff like that, but on harder difficulties, generally you don't have a choice. So as a result, I do appreciate that idea, even if it does seem a little simplistic and a little so once again, withholding judgment, going to see where this is going to go, but it does actually make a little bit of sense when you think about it, that fighters who are used to fighting solo without any care of the surrounding, teammates and environment and stuff like that, aren't going to be able to just all of a sudden be able to fight like they're on a team without smacking into each other, you know what I mean? Prince of Tennis, when they played doubles for the first time. Stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they're fantastic single players, but playing doubles is a whole different set of rules and engagement and all that stuff. So they were really crappy at playing doubles at first, right? So, and I mean, it's manga, so they learn really quick. But I didn't actually mind the reasoning as far as that goes. But suffice to say that after talking about this, and Yuki's just like, yeah, no, you're going to die. Like, nothing's going to happen here. So Chozo wants to go out and face his shitty father, as it were. And the fight scene is pretty cool. He's using the blood supernova and the piercing blood and all that stuff. It's a pretty cool fight. There's quite a lot of nice choreography with I like the environment they're fighting in with all these like tactiles all over the place. I kind of like that. It's an interesting environment for them to be fighting, of course. Kenjaku is only using Geto's ability, the coveted cursed spirit manipulation and stuff like that. Once again, making him a bit of a powerhouse in that regard because, of course, he stole from what we understand so far, Kenjaku's big technique, or why he's so feared currently, among probably other things, is the fact that he stole Geto's body and now has, of course, Geto's very coveted curse technique. And the thing is here is that he's adding insult to injury, which is quite interesting. He's adding, because we knew Kenjaku was a shit talker. He's always been a shit talker. But here he is literally he's doing it for the sake of humiliating. He's doing it because he's a dick, right? He's doing it to humiliate Chozo and his chances and his plans, and just really trying to just set him off and really humiliate him before he kills him, right? So we're seeing a lot of that, and it's totally expected. And then we also get the fact that one of the reasons that Chozo wants to go out there is to get answers from Kenjaku about Yuji and the plan for Yuji, which apparently, remember, this has happened about 2 days after we last saw Yuji and the gang. We don't know what's happened in the last 2 days, but apparently he was just a smoke signal, as Kenjaku points out, and says, it doesn't really matter what happens to that thing anymore. So whatever plan or plans he had, and it's seeming, once again, if you want to like Kenjaku as a character, if you want to like Kenjaku as a villain, if you want to like Kenjaku as a power scaler, fine, dandy, but let's just call a spade a spade. This dude turned himself into a woman, got fucked and knocked up, and gave birth to Yuji just to see what would happen. Like, I'm just going to say it. At the end of the day, however you want to rank him, I don't want anybody to not say this man is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? He's a little, like, I'm sorry, even Aizen wouldn't turn himself for master plans. If we want to talk about masterminds, if we want to talk about true masterminds among, we want to talk about Makoto Shishio, Hao Sakura, we want to talk about Light Yagami from Death Note and L. We want to talk about Aizen motherfucking Chair-sama himself. We want to talk about some of the top. We want to talk about Lelouch from Code Geass. We want to talk about the smartest, most conniving, most master plans of plans. None of these people are gonna go get a sex change and get knocked up, okay? Not even Light would have said, "Fuck the Death Note, I'll just die." All these guys would have just given it up. None of them are going that far. I'm just saying. So I don't know how to categorize the fact that he did that, but Chozo wants some goddamn answers in this chapter. Like, what's your plan? What are you gonna do? And he's like, well. It sounds to me like the way I read it, and maybe you guys can correct me, the way I read it was, it seems like there was a plan. Like, Kenjaku basically had his grubby little hands in, multiple, he didn't just buy one lotto ticket, he bought 5 to each of the lottos going on that week, and he's just trying to figure out which one's going to pay off, which one's going to stick, right? He didn't just bet $5, he bet $500, and most of them just, I won $10 there, $50 there, lost money there, but my final ticket, this one's for the jackpot, let's go, right? So it sort of seems, that's the way I'm reading it, is that he didn't really have a concrete plan, and he says it himself, he didn't really have anything huge, but he wasn't sure how it was going to go. It could have become his main plan. You know what I mean? It seems like he had his hand in too many cookie jars. I don't know. That's just the way I read it. And in the end of the day, of course, Chozo gets pissed and says, it's because you exist. It's not Yuji's fault that this shit is happening. It's got nothing. He's an innocent. You started all this by making Yuji in the first place. Like, you did all this. It's your fault. Noritoshi Kamo, all that stuff. And this is where Chozo, unfortunately, gets a bit of his ass beaten down by Geto, where he does the shit talking, Kenjaku, not Geto, but he calls him a failure. He says, I only need to use lower rank curses. You're trash. You're fodder. I don't even need to waste my time with you. And sorry, did I hurt your feelings? You must be so proud. They're laying on the ground and all this stuff, right? So at the end of the day, what happens is Chozo wakes up. Like, he gets pretty beaten and bloody, as we see. Like, Kenjaku not only beats him with curses, but also beats him with his own 2 fists sort of idea. And we'll go back to the thing that I have a bit of an issue with, or something that I feel like is, once again, like, it was explained and then totally, disregarded for, there's exceptions to all the rules and stuff. We'll get to that at the very end of the review. And once again, I think I just need to reread the series. But we'll talk about that, because then the end part of the chapter comes where, after talking about, being a special grade sorcerer and that kind of idea, and that he has infused these lower rank curses with his curse energy and stuff, which is ironic, because what he's saying is, initially, when he was beating down on Chozo, right? He got Chozo on the ground and he's beating him. He's shit talking him, saying, I only need to use lower grade curses, and, you're not going to make me use my domain, and I'm only going to use, I have other techniques. I have idle transfiguration. I don't know if that would actually even work on Chozo, but I have other techniques, sure, but I'm not going to use them. because you're not worth it. I only need to use the technique you all already know I have, and I'm not showing you any of my top tier spirits. I'm not showing you even my high level spirits. I'm going to use my low level spirits, and that's his way of saying you're trash, you're fodder, you suck. But then he goes on to say, here's the thing I find interesting. He goes on to say that, and then in the same, like a couple panels later, what he says is, he goes, these low grade cursed spirits that are beating your ass, and then, blah blah blah, I'm enhancing them with my own cursed energy. Now, once again, we know that there are characters in the series that have a stupid amount of cursed energy, right? And we also know it sort of works like a mana pool from what we understand. And that's the easiest comparison. So it works like a video game's mana pool or a D&D or whatever, right? It works like a mana pool, magic pool. And okay, and we know that some characters have a stupid amount of it. And we know that some characters can have a crazy amount of output. Even if they don't have a whole lot, they can use a bigger output than others, right? So there are a couple of interesting rules. But I have never been under the impression that Kenjaku possessing Gito didn't have a stupid amount of cursed energy. Not as much as Gojo with his 6 eyes and stuff, and not as much as Yuta, because from what we understand, Yuta has the most amount of cursed energy, period. But I never thought he wasn't top tier when it came to amount of cursed energy. I mean, that just makes sense. Especially when you give the fact that it's Kenjaku in Geto's body. So combine those two, yeah, he's got a dummy amount, I would argue. So I find it weird that he's admitting that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm beating you down with these, with a Pikachu and a Charmander, man. Like, fuck, you might be a Mewtwo, but a Charmander and a Pikachu are kicking your ass? Jesus, I don't need to evolve my Pikachu to kick your ass, right? But then he goes off to basically say the equivalent of, however, you're a level 10 Mewtwo, that's grand. I raised up these bitches to level 50. I have a level 50 Charmander with Fire Blast and a level 50 Pikachu with Volt Tackle, and you're only a level 10. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that comparison works out necessarily, and I hope it did, and I'm not going to try to do like 5 or 6 different analogies. It makes sense to me, but I don't know. It just seems weird here at the end of the chapter that he was trash talking them and then admits, oh yeah, but I'm supercharging them. So they're not actually low grade spirits, Kenjaku, if you're supercharging them with your own goddamn cursed energy. Like, that is not the same thing. I'm sorry, Like, I don't know. Like, an ant isn't scary, but have you ever seen the movie Ants? When they get big? Or like spiders? A garden spider ain't gonna hurt you, but if it's the size of a fucking basement, I mean, it's probably gonna eat some bitches, Like, so they're supercharged, right? So I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I think he fucked up there. I think he done goofed. He shit talked so much that he then revealed, yeah, no, I'm actually really trying to do something here. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Then we do jump over to Tengen and Yuki. We jump over to the bitch and Yuki. And basically Yuki's looking on. Actually, I wanted to remark something. Incredibly, what is wrong with this profile picture of Yuki? These panels here. Is it the hair? Like, did Gege run out of time to draw the hair properly or something? That doesn't even look like Yuki. I don't know. Something's off. I don't know what it is. But apparently they're waiting for some moment. So the plan isn't ruined yet, even though we heard the first plan. And as I said, there might be a plan within a plan. And then we have a really nice monologue by our boy Chozo here, trying his best, talking about failing as an older brother and trying to be a great older brother. He didn't land a single hit on Kenjaku, on the shitty father and all this stuff. And then boom, he awakens to some crazy death painting. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing here. Sort of reminding me of Todo position, because now his hair's all like slicked back and shit. And, he's just like, yep, let's go. And he says, brothers, lend me your strength. And he gets up and he's bare-chested and he's ready to, just fight, toe-to-toe with his fisticuffs or something. So I guess Chozo's not going to go down as easily as Kenjaku or the community wanted to believe. So that's the end of the chapter. I thought it was, as I said, I thought the chapter was quite good. No problem there. And just, so that's the review. But really quick at the end part, I just wanted to mention that I'm going to have to reread, of course, is that Kenjaku brings up halfway through the chapter what it means to be a special grade sorcerer. Now, once again, this whole special grade shit has never meant what it was supposed to mean. They made a ranking system and then they completely ignore the ranking system. Now, maybe that was only supposed to be curses. But I also argue once again that if you're going to do that, call them different things. Don't rank them the same or call them different things, because special didn't seem to mean what now Kenjaku is implying it means. He said special grade literally means someone who can overthrow a country single-handedly. So it is power scaling. Special grade, it means you are stronger than everybody else. Okay, once again, gonna have to reread, and maybe this was only related to curses, because remember there was that special grade curse back in like the first arc, and even a one-finger Sukuna, it was like a fucking joke, and that's supposed to be that special grade, supposed to be the same level, you know what I mean? So, as I said, in universe they explained that, yeah, we're not good at catching up, we don't, we're still trying to figure out, we can't rank them all. We don't know how to rank them yet or whatever. And I'm just sort of sitting there like, then don't fucking rank them. It's pretty straightforward, because now I'm expected to believe, ooh, special grade sorcerer, ooh, and special grade curse, ooh, well, I've seen a special grade curse at the beginning of the series that was fodder. So if we run into another, if Kenjaku pulls out, I summon the special grade curse, blue eyes, white dragon, I'm like, okay, is it special grade from that loser that Sukuna fucking smirked at and blew him up? Or is it, when he had like one finger? Or is it on fucking Sukuna level with 20 fingers? There's a wide gap there and I have no idea. So maybe it was more concrete with the sorcerers, but once again, I'm getting myself a little confused here, because they also rank curses with a special, the same as they rank sorcerers with a special grade. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna rank them both, I'm gonna have to assume they're both. If I don't know how to dumb it down anymore. If you have rank B of a system and you include both characters and villains in rank B, but then you're telling me, oh yeah, but different characters in rank B are all the way to rank E, all the way to rank S, I'm going to be like, well then they're not rank B, don't call them rank B, you know what I mean? So bit of an issue here, honestly, with that. I just wish they would drop that entirely. The whole, what does special grade mean? Well, it doesn't mean that, Kenjaku. It clearly doesn't, because I ran into a special grade curse that was fodder, that could not destroy a country single-handed. And if you're referring to only sorcerers, then once again, don't rank sorcerers the same you rank curses with the same fucking system, because that just confuses people. Okay? So, anyways, that was my only real gripe, and once again, it's more of a nitpick that I had personally while reading the series, because they seem to flip-flop on what's special meant something, and super special, and chocolate covered grade 1, supreme grade 1. Remember that bullshit? Yeah, these things. Some things are honorary titles. Some things aren't. Some are this. So it just, yeah, I just wish they'd drop the whole fucking thing and just let the characters fight without mentioning it ever again. But that's just me, so that was my little rant here at the end of the rather long review. But once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I did enjoy the chapter. That was just a nitpick part. That's why I left it here at the end. And I think Chozo's going to come out swinging. And I'm curious to what the new plan is for, that Yuki was talking about, not yet sort of idea, right? So what does that mean? Who knows? Hope you guys are having a good Movember, like, comment, and subscribe. Drink responsibly as always, and we'll see you guys back here next time for more Jujutsu Kaisen. Looking forward to Chozo landing that hit right in Kenjaku's face. Alright guys, see you next time.